We join back in for part 2 of our adventures. As last week the group had begun the preceding parade that is preparing to amaze and excite the crowd for the following Doomhakre the next day. Where we left off, the group had just seen the track on an official tour and learned that the final stretch is a leap of faith onto an invisible road that, very cleverly, Ichi seems to be able to see. With this in mind, the group have now been left to their devices to prep for the evening and rest. So as I was saying, anything that you wish to prep that's fairly mundane, like the adding pitch and cloth to arrows or whatever, we don't necessarily need to roll for anything of that sort. It's just, you can tell me I want to prep 10, 20, whatever. Obviously give a number and then note them so that you know how many burning fire arrows you've got. And anything else anybody wishes to prep.
Do we remember our layout on the car? Like who's doing what? Especially at the initial start.
Yes, obviously we've got Dante in the drivers.
So I was next to the ballista, wasn't I?
You're on the grapple.
Yeah.
Volu is next to me.
And Ichi's kind of nearer the side, ready to get off. Currently, well, that's a bit like.
So this is what we need to now discuss.
Yeah. Are we having Ichi's elk towards the beginning, where I can use it to more interfere with others, or would it be more useful at the end?
I think we should have it at the
navigating
end, because it doesn't matter how well we do through that thing if we go off and can't see where we're going.
Yeah,
we're screwed.
Yeah.
And if people might be in front of us, but if they can't see the road, they can go.
Yeah, the only other thing is obviously Ichi and I can swap places. But however, to do that, you would obviously have to be back in the car.
Yeah, if I'm at the beginning and I somehow get
and sat behind Dante saying left and right.
Yeah, and Ichi would know that if you ride the elk in the beginning, you're gonna have to dismount at the point you hit the climb.
Yeah.
Because that's the jump part. So I mean, we could, in theory, have the elk, because he is 5 feet faster, right?
What's the speed of our vehicle?
45.
45, yeah. My elk is 50. If I resummon it, obviously aesthetically still appearing as an elk, but as a warhorse, my speed is 60 feet.
That would be better. Because then, so what we could do is use it at the start, fuck with people. Even if it just means have them sheer off in different directions, but that means that you are 20 feet faster than us if a full round. So you could, in theory, keep up with us and even be a little bit ahead of us, and then let us get up with you. And then come the corners, the jump part, you can jump off onto us and tell your warhorse elk to fuck around if you wanted. And then once we get to the top, either resummon if you can or not.
It takes 10 minutes to resummon.
Okay.
The ones where we put it is where we shot.
Okay.
No. The other thing is the getting off the elk and getting back on the elk and all that's going to take time as well, even if you could have them.
He wouldn't. Okay, well, that's true. But then, so if we had it out from the start, you could come out. You could fuck up things and then get onto the cart, come the zigzag,
jump off,
and then me and you swap when it comes to the end.
Bearing in mind, even though it's majority straight, there are still some turns. My dexterity is not good. I have a minus modifier.
Yeah.
Could
because if the ground's made out of air, we're gonna be. I was gonna say, could we grapple? If you can see, you'd be still good on the ballista to shoot a grapple into it, but I don't know. If it's gonna go.
You know that because the penny landed.
Yeah, there is tangible
There
matter.
is matter there.
Yeah, but we don't know how hard it is.
Have
No.
we got anything like?
Because Ichi can see, I was saying, keep him on the ballista, and he can almost
Can we
drive
leave it like
us
sand
with
that we
grapples.
Can we like just grab a load of sand, whatever, and then have that fire out ahead of us, but faster?
But then that's also
You're
highlighting the
you're
path
helping
for
other
everyone
teams.
else.
That's well, I think there.
True.
Honestly,
But-
I think we should have the elk waiting at the top, and I think Ichi should get on the elk at the top, and then guide us.
So we need to cause mass
Because
damage at the start. Then
that initial
that's
initial
the
stretch
if we're
is
going to
where
have that
we're
at the
gonna
top,
fail.
that's where we need to do the most damage.
Because the only thing is, if I have my elk at the beginning, all it takes is for me and the elk to take one major hit, and I'm out of the race
Yeah.
with you guys. You guys won't have eyes up there because I'm not
Yeah.
with the vehicle.
Okay, valid.
And like I said, even I know we're saying that that means we need to do stuff earlier. If the other guys don't have a way of seeing that road, it doesn't matter if they all get to it before we do. If they've got no way of seeing that road, we don't know if they do or not.
We need to
they're gonna
assume
make
they
it.
do, bearing in mind we've
Because-
seen they have casters.
So
Yeah.
so now so we'll have the elk at the end. The biggest part we will fail at will be the first two strips, especially the first one. So we will need to make sure that we've figured out a good way of fucking with people, shooting at their engines, using the grapple.
The second we
If
have
we-
still potential, because there are still walls that we can grapple just straight through rather than
But
turning.
just remember, we have a limited jump.
Hmm.
If we've only got 5 jumps, it will take at least 3 to get a good chunk of our required space back. So that means I've got maybe 2 jumps if I'm lucky.
So you need
But
to use
jump
the
and
gra- you need to use
grapple-
the grapples. And...
Yeah, jumping
yeah.
and grappling, yeah.
I mean, jumping and grappling still uses a jump.
No,
No,
but as
no,
in,
no, as
in
in,
the
like,
beginning,
jumping-
you can just grapple.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can just grapple. We can.
And don't
fall down our way
forget,
through.
as much as it's a check, you can jump, not to the level you can with but Dante can hit a rock and attempt
Yeah.
You
to
can
throw
flick.
Like a
to
ramp.
throw your vehicle up. It's just a check, whereas the jump is just a jump, right? Like it's no check required. So you've got think of it more as you've got 5 very good no roll jumps, but you can attempt jumps throughout the race in other means.
Are all of these maneuvers dex based?
It's all a drive roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be dex. Okay, cool.
Which is
If-
why you were the driver.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just making sure it wasn't going to suddenly turn around and be something else.
No, I mean there's other checks in terms of like, holding on and taking hits and all those sorts of things, but you're mostly protected from those as the driver anyway, unless they do something funky.
If we affect the ground in any way, it's not going to make a difference, is it?
Only in the zigzag section. So the zigzag section, each is mentioned, the ground is very unstable and weak. It can just about take a person standing on it. So obviously it's not going to go if you just touch it.
No, it's more like if you obstruct the ground in any way.
The only way is similar to like Ichi. If you can do it in a way that they don't see, it will make their vehicle jump unexpectedly.
I've got some
Or
spells
you can-
that
or you
just
can
make
fo-
it makes
if
the
you make
terrain
it-
difficult
Oh,
to
no,
drive
if you-
through.
If you make it difficult terrain, that won't have much of an effect. 'cause of the
that's what I
floating
was
factor.
thinking.
However, an explosive barrel could.
An explosive bowel or barrel.
Barrel.
If the ground.
I also think you said bowel.
Because we've got narrow routes that are tight as fuck. Yes, we have an explosive barrel.
I don't know.
But
Someone has a real case of IBS,
Yeah.
look, it'll be an absolute shitstorm, I tell you.
Yeah. But yeah, there are some tight
Have we now
spots.
got all of that out of our system?
Nope.
We will once it explodes.
But yeah, could Keg fuck up the track if there's narrow and
I think Dante would think the best chances for that is the crevasse and the bridge bit or the climb bit. You don't think it would do enough damage to the road on the plains?
no. I meant the zigzag.
Yeah, or the zigzag, that would.
Because if
Ichi would tell you that would chunk sections of it, and the second they drive up, if basically you would know it's not about the vehicle going over it, it's about the Zikar crystal going over it. So, for example, on yours, your Zikar crystals are one at the front, two at the back, right? So if your front one goes over the 5 foot, your nose will dip. For the other ones, you would know. So Chris and Ichi have having a closer look at a Grey Wind Aether model. Theirs are one at the back, two at the front. And and even thinking this through, and they would have talked about this, that is a better design, because if your back dips and clips something, that's not as bad as your nose diving. But you would know this, and by the same thing though, if one of their side Zikars drives over a hole, their entire side vehicle will dip down.
Can I just ask us to go through the equipment and stuff that we've got? Because I know that Chris had those gunpowder. I've got the barrel of pitch.
So there's 2 gunpowder kegs. There's pitch and stuff, which I said, like I said, if you want to prep stuff, how many fire arrows do you want to make?
I am going to prep all 20 if I can, with wrapped in.
Yeah.
I'm going to prep them and then wrap them up, Liam, so they don't make everything sticky.
You may want to put the microphone a little bit away from your mouth because it's cracking when you're talking.
Oh, okay. Usually it's bad because it's too far away, but is that better?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll prep all 20 arrows.
Mhm.
I need to think about how I'm going to light them before I fire them. But yeah, I will prep them and I'll wrap them in cloth, Liam, so that they're not...
So you've got the 20 fire arrows. You've got, if you're collecting together the smoke bombs to make substantive smoke bombs that would cover a vehicle or block of vehicles cover, then you can make 4 of them.
So we said 4. So we had 20 bombs, but you put them together in groups of 5, and that covers a 10-foot area.
And you gave some to Dante, so I think in total you'd be able to make probably, I'd say you could get 4 just about.
Okay.
The last one's maybe a little bit weaker, but not substantively.
So I would prep those as well and sort of tie them together.
Mhm.
I'm assuming we're just going to lob them as at vehicles. Then
I was saying as
we've
well,
got
the pitch makes things sticky. So for Eleni, I will say, as you're sort of looking, it would probably require, don't know about full action, but it would require your item into action at the very least. But once the shaft is all pitched up and sticky, that will just stick to the arrow.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So
like the little clump. It won't. It's not like a permanent stick, obviously. And
again, does it need to be lit?
So no, the smoke bombs are impact.
Okay. Okay. So we've got that. What are you planning to do with the gunpowder, Chris?
Well, now if we could, I don't know if we could either set a fuse on and drop it, or something. But if we can somehow just blow up a section of the zigzag.
If we can get ahead of people, we could blow up some of the stuff behind us, couldn't we?
That was kind of what I'm thinking. If we can get ahead, and just be like, right, okay, here's that, clear out that, do it on a corner bit or something.
Bearing in mind, up until the zigzag, we're probably going to be tail end of these guys, so we need to overtake them first.
So this is where the only thing that I can think of is we're going to have to use the grapple hook to constantly ping into people, drag it back, and we just have to hope that we don't roll 1s and 2s. I think it was if it's 2 1s or
damage.
2s. I thought okay.
Because it's 2 1s or 2. It's if the damage is under a 4, it won't stick in. It's not about your aim. Obviously, if you roll a 1 on the aim, you miss and critical fail still, right? But if you hit them and roll 1s or 2s on the damage dice, it doesn't penetrate enough to hold firm.
So that we're basing our entire start on that.
Also who you target, because again, you looked over, only some of them are heavily armored. in terms of obviously it's still obviously damage dice, but it's a D10, so it's not the worst chance.
And Liam, things like
And you can enhance that.
ensnaring strike.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have to aim that at a creature.
Does it? Yeah. If it says creature, it won't work. If it will still work on people, right?
Also, I mean, so it says when I hit a creature with a weapon attack, a mass of thorny vines appears at the point of impact. But would that only be on the person? That wouldn't be on the car as well. Even if they're in there.
It'd only be on. Well, it'd be on the car, but it doesn't slow or affect the car in any way. The vehicle in any way. What's the? It's restrained that though, isn't it? Is that restrained?
They take damage, and yeah, they're restrained.
So I'd say that you don't know for certain, but almost maybe doing some demonstrations and playing around at the back at the place. Dante, you think that if you were sat driving and it like went off on you, it wouldn't stop you from driving, but it would restrict you. You might not, if you're restrained like this, you're not necessarily able to full turn or like, for those sharp turns, you're going to have to like wheel, you know what I mean? Like to hit those. So you think that while it might not have that much of an effect on the vehicle, the driver, it might have an impeding.
Drivers are heavily protected in all vehicles except for
they do have the yeah. Although no, Eleni doesn't have anything.
Because web restrains people as well, right?
And web is a big enough area; it would affect the vehicle.
Just putting it out there. Are we looking at anything about the second part of this potential thing of disabling this other car for Madam Oracle?
I mean, I was assuming we look out for the opportunity, but I'm not going to go out of my way. I'm not going to lose to do that.
I'd agree. Just if we have an opportunity, how can we act on it? Like what possible things if we go, well, if this comes up?
Like we spotted them out of the race, and if they're in front of us, we're going to be trying to knock them out of the race, aren't we?
Yeah, presumably.
So you will remember, they don't want if it's the sandstorm,
they want the vehicle.
They don't want the vehicle exploded. If it is barter, they kind of they want him alive. They want him alive, preferably, but also they have means. So the body intact would probably suffice. But also they are fine for you to just knock him off. But also you could disable the vehicle, whatever, right? It's however you want to.
That's what I'm saying. Just I'm with Emma in the sense that I'm going for the win. However, if I see an opportunity, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
What you will note, what will have noted, Dante, just for general, if you take the opportunity, the Desert Hopper is similar to yours, and it's in its design, and the engine you would guess is in the back, as opposed to when you looked at the very fast Sandstorm one, where the engine was capsuled in the front. So basically on the Sandstorm, the driver sits behind the engine. On the Desert Hopper, all of the riders sit in front of the engine.
I'm surprised we haven't just got loads of just tried to hire a load of mercs just to shoot like sand people.
We don't have the money.
We're a bit skint.
But yeah, so over the time that you're preparing, you would receive 2 letters that would be brought up to your room by Alara. They would. The first one is from Sir Volkov, informing you that the excavation today went well. They found the missing miners. They were injured, but they seem healthy. He would inform you that not Brother Theo, High Priest Arcaner requested that they were brought up to the temple, and they have been handed over there, but mostly contacting you to tell you that they don't need you to come to the mine. You don't need to head down there. They will note in there that the shaft still seemed unstable, and they are currently asking for people not to enter without informing the guard and let it, requesting permission essentially. Like they're not going to let any random person walk down there, but also if you're going to go down there, tell them. And the second one that comes maybe 20-30 minutes later is from High Priest Arcanair. And that informs you that the miners have been found, that Savalkov has dropped them off maybe 20 minutes ago. Maybe 30 minutes ago or so. Probably more like in the writing it was 30 minutes ago, but obviously it's taken time to get to you. But they would say that they have placed all of the miners in the room with the prepared circle. However, they don't see any evidence of the rash or any infection, though they do seem ill. So they're going to keep them in there while they perform healings and investigate.
Just sorry, one last thing, because I briefly mentioned it, but I don't know. Has everyone got some sort of ranged weapon?
No,
Bow.
because again, not good with dex.
He's throwing, so it's strength on
So,
it.
Have you got area effect stuff?
Liam, I want to just buy
Limited.
a couple of basic longbows. If they're not, I don't know if they're expensive or not.
I think it's 25 gold. Let me check.
They're not expensive.
Yeah, then I just want to buy
50.
So,
I think.
Bowley,
50
do you have
gold.
range?
Hmm?
Do you have range?
I have ranged attacks and I have a crossbow.
You got a crossbow. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to just buy one longbow and a bunch of arrows.
Okay, so it's 50 gold for the longbow. We'll say that without role playing it through, that you managed to talk them round to chucking in 20 arrows for free, like one bundle.
I'm giving them to Ichi.
I'm not sure how useful I'm going to be with these.
He might not, if he's not proficient with a longbow.
I'm proficient with all
He's
weapons.
He's just
okay.
bad.
That's
Anything
all right.
dex, he's just bad.
Could be in a position where you don't have much that you can do. A bad shot is better than not doing any shot.
I would also
Also-
say, Ichi, you could be lighting my arrows as I'm firing them. Maybe there's things that we could do, right?
I do have some things that I can do in terms of interference. I can, if we get close enough, I can try and also entangle them in some vines that come from me, more or less. Also, it's very dependent on their mental capabilities, but I can always, if we get close enough, command them to crash.
I like that.
Yeah.
If we want it a little bit less violent, I can always command them to stall the vehicle.
Yeah.
Or
break.
Yeah, break, halt, anything, any singular word.
Do they have to hear you though?
Yeah, it's 60 feet. Not hear you, I think it's just the range, right?
Yeah, the range is 60 feet. I speak one word to a creature I can see.
Yeah, I've always thought that was weird, but
That's
hey,
good.
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
But
so
yes,
I could look at them and go, and they would just do something.
I just love the idea. Just say like someone like hiding in a barrel, like in a pub, and just kind of going, piss.
Just looking through the little crack.
That is the way that Chris would use magical, world-altering powers. But yes, I think also stuff at Ichi, your entangling thing, I think it would work very similarly to the ensnaring strike. So you think if you used it on the driver, it would definitely impede their ability to operate the vehicle properly. Obviously, it does damage as well. So
that's the main kind of thing. But also, I was thinking it could maybe like if I targeted like the engine, like
if I got with it because it's fire. If there were steam engines, it's more that that it might stall them for a round, but the fire's going to burn it off.
Yeah, it's less of like inside the engine and more like exterior wrap, kind of like stopping the pistons.
You'd have to be able to see it, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, we could give it a go.
You know, it's alternatives that could
Yeah,
be.
yeah. If they, because again, and you would know this from Dante looking closer, the ones that are covered, they are just covered, right? If you do damage, in the same rules as a lot of our other TTRPG friends use. If you're, I like the one. If you're aiming for a specific spot, you need to roll twice and hit twice. If you hit the first time and miss the second time, you hit, but you don't hit the spot you're after. But essentially, you can aim to like bust the armor around the engine to get better views to their engines and those sorts of things. Dante had from having a look at a closer look at some of the others. It's like plates on top of that can be knocked loose, peeled back, burned away, etc. But yes.
Also, in the night, I will obviously give my elk the telepathic connection to go and set itself up at the top. Oh, hello. Shut up. With a like on the final after the final curve and going like there, so I have time to get in front and go with the jump.
Liam,
Okay.
I wasn't actually going to say because I thought it would have been funny just to actually do.
That's
but-
worrying.
No. It's that we've got the cloak of like load of different things on it.
You do.
Can only the wearer use it?
Yes.
Fuck you.
Sorry.
So
Matt.
who's wearing it?
No point me.
I'm not.
I don't know
Who's
if
got it?
anybody is right now, to be fair.
I mean,
No.
each you could.
But who's
I'm
even
currently
carrying it?
I think you're carrying it, but nobody's wearing it.
Yeah, no one's wearing
Because it's not in my inventory.
it. Well, one of us have it. We wouldn't have.
I've got a record of it, obviously, but I've not added it to me.
You've definitely still got it, don't stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who wants to wear it? Who thinks they would get there?
Each you will take it. Like, bearing in mind I have the least like range, it makes sense that I'm able to just throw a ladder at someone.
I mean, yeah, and add it to your character sheet. So obviously, it is a basic.
WWE.
It's a cloak of
Um,
many items, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
Cloak of
cloak of
useful item.
cloak of useful items. It has everything that a base cloak would have, plus the list I gave
Well,
previously.
pasted a list in the
Yeah.
chat, Matt, in the messenger chat. The one that Liam can't see because we're plotting.
Yeah.
Cloak of many items.
Useful items. Cloak of
Many
useful-
objects, useful objects.
It's still in our chat. Just like Operation now. This is pod racing.
Yeah, weirdly doesn't come up like because there is an actual magical item about this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe because
Is it
don't...
robe? No, it's not cloak. It's robe. It's robe.
Ah, that'd be
Oh.
why. Here we go. Robe of useful items immediately
Yeah,
comes up.
Sorry.
Add. Cool. Attach that longbow so I have that item. Looking
Yeah, and
at.
with that, if everything, if you've done everything you want to do, is there anything as it's getting a bit late in the evening?
Okay, wait. Just to clarify, looking at these,
Yeah.
we have two dogs
We have two
in
dogs.
the cloak.
in the
Yep.
cloak.
Yeah.
Are they
So
okay?
it's patches. You can
Yeah.
like pull the patches off, and you.
I understand how it works.
Yeah.
I'm more worried of the
Yeah,
well-being of the
I
animal.
believe they're
they are-
suspended in the patch at the moment.
They are.
so-
Yeah, they are okay.
Doesn't matter.
Imagine if they were still like living and requiring things, and you threw down the patch after not using it for a few years, and it's just like a
It's dead.
corpse. No, it isn't like that. They are magically created when the patch is pulled.
It's like Spike from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, two
Zero.
dogs running
Just
around
animal
might cause
cruelty,
chaos.
but in magic items. Great. Just fucking throw a
It
stained
was
glass window
it
at
was
someone.
random rolls. I didn't even like.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So to clarify, the iron door and the stained glass window.
Mhm. They need to be
Um,
put on a surface.
Stained
No,
glass window, I forgot
well,
about that.
so iron door needs to be put in a gap.
In a
It
gap,
And then it
yes.
fills the
it
gap.
will grow to fill a gap, and there is I believe 10 by 10
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 10 by
is
10 limitation.
is its maximum that it will stop at. The stained glass window needs to be put on a surface of a vertical surface.
Like a wall.
Yes,
That is
and
no
it will
thicker than...
so it will go 2 inches deep to create the other side of
Yeah.
the window.
Okay.
But there's a pit.
There is a pit.
And the pit is 10 by 10, which
But again,
it covers most of these vehicles. The
but
pit
again,
can be
that
thrown
involves
down.
us being in front of them.
Yes.
And then they'll just divot, most likely. But
Well, it doesn't fully. So some of them would fully fall into a 10 by 10 pit. Some of them would be. It's still like the biggest any of them are is 15 by 15. So it's still covering the majority of them and definitely hitting 1 or 2 crystals. But again, as Matt says, you do have to be out in front.
I'm just thinking if we do the zigzag thing, just be like, bomb it twice, put a hole in it, and that's an entire strip gone.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
they'd have to be doing
on a
maneuvering
corner.
jumps to.
Put the pit on a
Yeah.
corner and they just can't get round.
Right.
But
Anyway,
yes.
come on, let's get to the go.
So
We've got 30 minutes.
Chris is so excited.
You would be able to get a long rest, change any spells.
Yep, I've
I don't know.
changed some spells.
Very quickly, I'm going to come to each of you as much as this is a contest and such, it is still a death race. How are each of you? So I'm going to come to Dante first, but I want to know how each of you are like feeling and what the sort of like scene is set as you're getting into bed. Are you like stay up late? Are you straight to sleep? Like what's the vibe? So I'm coming to Dante first.
As Dante goes to his bed, and as Ichi puts his like shackles on him.
Yeah.
Dante feels oddly calm because as his mind goes over to what potentially could happen the day after, the idea of death doesn't scare him. The idea of, say, of loss seems to be absent. He's not going to be saying he's joyful. He's Dante. But any fear going into this feels just like the opportunity, almost the chance to feel something exhilarating, something so he can still remember what it's like to be human.
Okay, and I'll flick over next to Volu.
Volu, up to this point, has kind of been wrapped up in the pomp and circumstance of it all. And it's only as we're going to bed that he kind of realizes, oh, this is a death race. And as he's trying to get to sleep, he's struggling, just being a little bit nervous, and he'll hum to himself that he was doing to calm himself before. And he'll think of the little meadow in the Feywild where he was picking his 4-leaf clover and going, and we'll go. Give me all the luck you can tomorrow.
Going over next to Ichi.
Ichi's like laying in bed staring at the ceiling.
Oh yeah, but Ichi doesn't even really sleep. You meditate, don't you?
Yeah.
So it's not like a.
They're just staring at the ceiling, and like it's going over in their head of the excitement of this, the general ostentatiousness of this event. Ichi's heard about it, seen it before, but never been in it. And the thought that just keeps going over and over in Ichi's head is, if things go wrong and Tenebris gets out, during this race. It's a matter of, one, Tenebris gets what they want because he wants a spectacle. Two, we've brought him to a very populated city that he would be happy to burn. Three, he will immediately have a lot of explosives around them to use at his disposal. The carnage, and that's just going over and over and over in Ichi's head.
Oh, Chris is excited.
I'm glad one person is, you fuck.
And finally to Eleni.
Strangely, or maybe not so strangely, Eleni is not worried about the fact that this is a death race. She sort of feels like she's died once, and so if she dies again, maybe that's meant to be. She's not, that's not worrying her at all. She had a moment today where she suddenly realized that she was making herself visible to a lot of people, and that if we win the race, potentially her face might become more known. There might be more talk. And even though I have a different name now and I'm on a different continent and I've chopped all my hair off, maybe she's sort of like, oh, I didn't think this through. I'm not sure I want to be famous. But she's also sort of, this money could make a difference. This money and this favour, maybe this could actually be the turning point. She's been travelling for a long time looking for some way, something to move her plans forward. Maybe this is it. So yeah, quietly contemplative.
Okay. And as you all drift off to sleep and get your long rests, you would wake in the morning to voices and noise and shouting from outside. And as you look, there is a smallish crowd of people that, due to rumours, might have discovered that the chaotic embers. Oh no, actually, you said you were staying at the Bloody Banner, didn't you? Yeah, no, there isn't. They're all down by the Bloody Banner.
We're at the Rusty Bucket.
Come outside! Throwing rocks at the window and stuff. It's just like some old guy, like, please leave me alone.
I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, because you set rumours that you were all staying at the Bloody Banner.
Well, we were when we said it.
Yeah, and you have a nice calm waking. Elara.
There's no narcotic Septembers here.
Yeah. Elara has breakfast ready and is almost like more excited than some of you as they're like, get your food down here. You need your strength today. Are you all prepared? Have you remembered all of your items? You mustn't forget anything. What time are you supposed to be down there? And eventually you would make your way down for the beginning proceedings to meet Stadius. And again, so you know that you are starting down in the Colosseum. There is going to be like the drive out to where the race starts. There'll be the pause. You gather, and Thaddeus sort of, do you all feel ready?
Yes, I do.
Well, good luck to you. I will be watching. And then you will be able to climb aboard. Again, as everything's building up, you start to hear more of the chanting and the roaring of the crowd from outside of the Colosseum. And for a moment, get an idea of what it might have been like to be fighting in these very pits. The old racetrack still apparent in the ground.
Liam,
before, yes.
Sorry, one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of prep, I've got my tinderbox. I'm wondering if I can have with me, and I would have got this from Dana or someone, but I'm thinking maybe like a bowl with a candle lit inside it or something that I can have a burning flame once we're on the go that I can just dip the arrow in
So I think
fire.
you would probably you would know to maybe be better with like a hooded lantern, just because if it's just
Okay.
a bowl, the movement is gonna. I know it's in a bowl, but it might put it out. Whereas with the hooded lantern, you can close it and keep it protected almost. That
Okay.
would be easy enough to get still. Elara would have one of them that she'll happily lend to you.
Yeah, that's fine then. I'll use a hooded lantern. I was just sort of thinking, yeah, I've got my tinder box, I've got torches, I've got
No,
like
it makes sense. And you'd be able to
Cool.
sort of fasten it on to one of the like
Yeah.
props that come off.
Cool.
Give me a perception, everybody.
26.
14. I hate having such bad wisdom.
22.
I know I deliberately made myself a character with bad wisdom, but I hate it.
It's fine. You've got 3 high wisdom characters.
Yeah, 10.
Ah, God damn it.
Oh, Eleni was like 20, whatever.
26.
And then 22.
Yeah, okay. So let me just do okay, so everyone arrived, everyone saw everybody, like everyone sort of loading up and getting in.
Before starting,
Yeah.
like, you need just come to me before we actually.
Yeah. So there's still going to be there's almost like a little procession to the start point, and then you're going to get it. So right now you're still in the Colosseum, and they're going to like lead you out when they're ready. They're sort of shouting like 5 minutes to go. As you're looking around, you saw everybody getting in, and Dante and Bolu maybe just not paying attention or maybe distracted by it. But there's a bit of a kerfuffle. No, but even with the 14, basically, that you would notice the distraction, Dante, but you don't see past it, if that makes sense. So all of a sudden, there's a bit of a kerfuffle around the Azure Flyer. And the attendants and the like school students that are with them and like helping them, all of a sudden, like, wait. It's not like they crowd around it, seem to fiddle with something. And like there's like an attendant right there, like looking and watching, and they don't seem to flag anything. But for Eleni and Ichi, and I will just whisper this.
So everybody, we're about to die in a death race. We've not come across many instances where we've had to fight our way out through anything.
And if we don't
So-
die, there's an Afriti that's going to escape and destroy the city.
I'm loving this. Is that I've got a character that literally could be the big bad.
Oh,
Okay.
how much detail can we see, Liam?
So you would notice that a lot of the riders are like face covered, helmets and other sort of things. The same is said for the riders of the Azure Flyer, both Tabitha and you saw them sort of come up. They were in their rider gear.
Yeah.
They put on their helmets. They like got into their seats, and then there was this kerfuffle. And then obviously when you look back, everything seems fine. The attendant gives the like, everything seems fine, go ahead. And all the school students sort of file off and like, you've got this, go, and cheer and sort of like give the big whoop as they sort of say, if we are ready, we are going to move through the city. Again, please keep your pace to a slow minimum and line up on the starting line. The doors open and again screams, chants, and shouts. Dante, before you actually exit.
I'm fine when say we're exiting. It's before the countdown of the ready, set, go.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
Okay.
You begin moving through. There's the shouts and the cries, people cheering you on. You see Alara and Dana sort of cheering out, and you even see Brother Theo. You would also see there are a number of they're like very large war horses with a guard and a cleric on them that are proceeding up with you. You have been told, obviously, that like if crashes are seen, they will get to you as quickly as possible. And a number of openly flying familiars that are like watching you, essentially. That again, you have been told as the riders, if you are in dire need of help, you can signal to them. And that will like tell the clerics on the back of horses to rush to your position. You eventually make it up, and as you come out, so you sort of exit out of the buildings, and there's the open space. People are already crowding into all areas. Guards are telling to the back away from the main track, and maybe about 50, 60 foot up the initial track, there are just people. Some people using raise. You can see people levitating and used other raised things to sort of see over the crowds. You would notice on like a little bit of a raised platform over at the side, again, the Glass family and their representatives. You sort of see Thaddeus making his way over. You actually see Thaddeus sort of like looks at like going to join them, and actually just moves to the front of the, like, he's just in with the people at the front, like trying to watch the initial go. And you line up. Everything is very, very tense. Things begin to shush. Alar.
You look over each, he's ripped off one of the dogs.
Yeah.
That's the dog with the sandwich in its mouth.
Yeah.
Alar Moonshadow sort of steps forward, and again, Thaumaturgy's friends and citizens, we have had a wonderful festival so far, coming to the grand culmination of our Doomhakre, and there's a cheer. It says, though perilous, we will do our best to ensure all of our brave warriors make it through. For our warriors, do your best, try your hardest, and make it to the end with valor. When you hear the explosion, you are free to go. Again, there's a pause before almost like two little cannons like go off. Can I please have initiative?
So hang on, that was
sorry,
right.
and pausing very quickly for Dante. Yeah. My apologies.
Yeah,
I tried to remember.
The pause was because as just before we're about to start, as he's saying this, I'm just going to lean over to Dante and give him guidance.
Okay.
And what then? As I say, that'd be quite happy. I'm going to just kind of lean, get myself in the saddle. What's that? Saddle in the seat. Get myself ready, and I'm just going to go. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning. Keep our weapons turning. And I'm going to do Crimson Right on the car.
Oh. Okay, so it will only be the weapons of. So it'll be like the bumpers and the edges that are like almost like the outer shell, but a small burning flame starts to creep over them and continue.
And as doing that, I want to use my inspiration to make all weapons from the car have it.
So all attacks from the car.
So as in not just from the car, any weapon. So any bow shot, anything will have the Crimson Right. Anything as long as it.
I will say with the inspiration, so it will apply to the ballista and it will apply to any weapon that is currently like out and ready. So obviously the bows, people's like visible weapons, but not the things obviously that are in backpacks and the sticky bombs and things that are going to be minor throwing there.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like that a lot.
Just remind me what that does, Chris.
So, first thing I need to take damage.
Fire.
Yeah, 2 points damage. I'm okay with that. Oh, England just scored. Don't
worry.
And so now all attacks from this, including the ballista, is all fire damage. And it's an additional 1d6 for every.
Oh, 1d6. I thought it was 1d4.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
And we are now also pretty much a giant flaming ball. So
nobody's going to want to ram us.
So I don't need this hooded lantern then.
No, you don't. So up the car, and up, you feel it all above you. So this fire that you would think would burn you is actually just wrapping around you and just kind of giving you this warm feeling. You look towards Dante in that car, and his eyes are now just almost afire themselves. There's no essence of eyeballs. It's just bright yellow white flame, and the hairs on him are like prickling up.
I'm
You
going to lean
have-
over to Ichi and go, that is still him, isn't
We can only hope.
it?
But Chris, you have made in this scenario, you have made Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
You
have.
Well,
If Ghost Rider had a hover monster truck,
Yeah,
that's what this is right now in Mad Max.
brilliant.
so there you go, Ghost Rider in Mad Max. But we've all now got a lot of fire damage to aim at those pesky little engines.
Yeah, for damn.
Okay.
And plus the extra D6 now means what? The ballista fires three, it rolls 3 dice as it is. As long as one of them is a 2, then it will stick.
Yep.
Okay. So, can I have initiative from everybody, please?
Are we all rolling or just
Yeah, everybody rolls.
Okay. I'm gonna use my
Oh, that was
guidance
good.
for this.
Okay.
That's not good.
No, me neither.
21. Thank you for the guidance.
Also 21.
Let's hope that makes up for me and Volu. 9.
Okay, so
6.
let me do my almost in bracket. So you two were both 21.
Mm-hmm.
So that is
I got a nat 20 on finding out who bloody Bartholomew is, and I get something that actually.
Them's the
When it
ways.
matters.
I that's why I wanted that guidance straight off the bat, because I was just like, I needed
You need it way more than I actually need to react to you. So as long as you're ahead of me, and actually it might work. It might work out. I think I'm so low that I'll go and then you'll go straight after.
Yeah, you will.
What?
So then there's going to be a bunch of peeps in the middle. So we've got.
Where's the music? Where's the suspense, Liam? You need to be pumping music into this thing.
Yeah.
You know, like how Beachy did his thing.
Yeah, but that was in person.
Stop distracting me. I'm trying to do math.
Only that we had a maths teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. But
So go on then, Chris. You should sing something suspenseful.
But nothing
Yeah.
that could get copyright.
Yeah.
Just riff. Come on.
It's a good thing we're not a party of bards. We're all just a scat group.
4 little fireballs rolled a 1.
Aww.
Oh,
Poor babies.
That was
you know, that's fine.
Oh,
They can
that's
have
so
time to
cute.
react to whatever I do.
So initially, if I'm if we're one of the ones going first, that means say we can probably fuck around things before needing to use the grapple. Because the grapple we might as well bring out when they're about 40 feet ahead of us, 40 to 60. I'd
Well,
say.
it depends because technically all initiative happens simultaneously, isn't it? So it's
Yeah, but if we're still going to be doing rounds, it's going to be
yeah.
otherwise it's just going to get stupid.
I mean, we can always like hold
Okay.
actions and such of grappling until we see that they're ahead.
So
Hold and aim.
as the bang goes off. Oh man, okay. So the bang goes off, and on the Two Hills Dawn car, which is quite a distance from you guys, and as everybody's beginning to move, just goes, "Take this!" and boom, a spray of 15-foot fire just coats the riders that are all next to them, which only really coats the Trident riders.
Can we go to the
I was about to say, do you want to flip
Go to the map.
Sorry, yeah.
So they're setting their neighbours on fire before they've even set off.
So on a 22 initiative, this
Oh!
this fella up here, that was a nat 20 for 22. And yeah, they've just lit up Trident. Who do take some damage? Can Dante roll me a d100?
Because it's fire.
Yeah.
94.
Ooh.
Okay, they seem okay.
Cool.
Anything that's
Okay,
scary.
after as that flame is going, Dante up first. When you move, and I will bring the vehicle up to follow.
Just pass. So my movement is, remind me,
45.
45.
45. So
Why can't I move my guy?
I will just.
I think because we're currently.
Oh yeah, you all need to add
Yeah.
yourselves if you want to. I have just put you on the car because I don't know
think
how
we
much you would
need to
move.
though, do we? Because we're going to be on the
Yeah.
car. So if Liam's going to move the car, he can move us as well.
I suppose only Dante needs it because he'll
Yeah.
be directly
Yeah.
in the car.
I mean, I guess that's just going to be me going forward. It's not like, because it's not like we're going side to side or anything, is it?
No,
If you wanted to ram anyone.
This is purely.
this is just straight, isn't
At
it?
this point, we can kind of like ping maybe, but
Yeah, but isn't this just purely there for?
depends how we grapple though as well. We might.
No, as in a visual. This is a visual aid of who's.
Oh yeah, this is just
This-
visual aid in terms of like
this
who's in
isn't
front.
actually a thing. So, as there's nothing more that I can do except literally just full on action, move, dash, whatever I can do. And yeah, and we are literally, like I said, we are just one raging ball of. So I'm actually curious. Has anyone reacted to the fact that we are literally just on fire?
I mean, the thing is you did it as the bang was going, so there will be, and people are shouting and screaming, but you can't actually really look at who is observing you as such. Not unless you want to take your eyes off the road. As we come to Ichi's turn.
Oh dear. Shit.
To be fair, this is probably a perfect time for any area spells because everyone hasn't moved yet.
Yeah.
Ichi is going to where they are, like physically. Ichi grabs onto like one of the straps, and Mad Max leans and is going to extend their arm. And as they do, their fingers just splinter apart, expand into a web, all of which has the succulent thorns kind of all over them. As I am going to do my entangling growth over the riders on the to the right of us. So this black
To the desert hopper.
desert hopper, yeah.
Beautiful.
So are you aiming at the right? So you're
Driver.
you're the driver. Okay. So you they make a check. Yes.
I believe so. Let me just clarify.
And you will see this in hand, Dante. But you will all I was going to tell you when you experienced it, but it's kind of hard to dodge stuff when you're in a cockpit. So it is at disadvantage. So for the same for you, and when you make your dex check, dex save, so that you'll make one for the car, and that's your driving, and then there's your one, but that would be at disadvantage, not the car one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, dexterity saving throw will be restrained.
Okay, so disadvantaged for a 14.
My proficiency is 8. My DC is 8 plus proficiency, which is 3, so that's up to 11, plus my con, which is plus 2, so 13.
Just makes
Damn.
it. So the vines streak out, but almost like, because I imagine you're doing this as you're barreling away, and it's almost like they hit and clasp on, but they're more in the front of the vehicle, and he sort of like snaps free at least the steering wheel. And you can see he's almost got like brambles currently surrounding him, that if he moves anywhere out of this cockpit, he's going to get spiked. But for where he is at the moment, he seems okay.
Cool. And then I don't think I've got anything necessarily for my bonus action right now, so that'll be me.
Okay, out of the smoke, the 3 that were covered in flame.
The trident, yeah.
Yeah, the trident. Burst out of the smoke and like instantly accelerating forwards. They go forwards 100 before pulling. As they're going forwards, they go from 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So they're going to move to. They sort of try to start to center themselves a little bit. But go forwards almost 130, 140, and by the time they boost, you see the engines roaring. Give me give me a perception as that happens. Everyone, that is
From
everyone.
sorry.
Cool.
Yeah, my apologies.
18 plus 6, 24.
10.
23.
Okay. So Eleni, so everyone except Dante, you would notice that there is an engine port, like a exhaust port on each of these. Now that you're sort of behind it, each of the ends of the vehicle is an exhaust port, and the right one is firing right now. It's not firing in the middle, and they're not all firing at the same time.
Okay.
After which, why did that happen? After which,
it went for this.
Yeah, there's just a Chris or whatever. Can you draw our measure forwards from the bottom one, the slate crawlers?
Yeah, sure. Where to?
From the front of them, sorry. 150 forwards, as they're just going to bust as far as they can physically go. And they're holding that edge. They're just like full speed as fast as they can. Dust and dirt kicking up behind them. After them with the Desert Hopper and the Sandstorm, almost actually in very, very close proximity. I should be fine for an hour now because I've got the 150 marker. So they will. So Desert Hopper is first. So they are going to
go off the on the screen.
Yeah.
So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 10, 20. They actually pull right up to behind you guys, almost like here, and match your pace. At first, maybe they would pull up.
Your other one, your other grey wind has disappeared, Liam. Just so you know. So not that there you are. That's better.
They move weird. It's annoying. Pulls up to about there.
Yeah.
And they are going to point their heavy crossbow at you. So you can currently see. You can see there is an Azamar driving in the front.
Right.
There is Barter the Halfling that is currently like messing around with something behind the sort of like charioted bit, and a large half orc that points the heavy crossbow in your direction and takes a shot. Only a 13 to hit, so I believe AC is 15.
I need the details of the car again. I think I can't remember. I know you sent it once upon a time, but
a while back, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I'm going to say miss.
I'm pretty sure. I think it does.
I thought it was 15.
I thought it was 20.
Might not be that much. Let me find the.
Did you build it, Liam, as a stat block, or did you?
I built it and sent it as a picture in the Despair chat. I think I've got it.
Oh, so we should be able to look by image.
Yeah, I'm just gonna forward this.
You should be able to search by link. To be fair.
No, I found it. I just need to send it to Despair. Oh, I can't forward it to the same group. That's annoying.
I'll just reply to.
Tag us in it. Yeah, reply to it, Liam.
I didn't find it by scrolling back through. I just go into the media.
I can go into that. Oh, there
so it's AC 12. So it does hit into your vehicle for 4 points of damage as it just into the side back plate, not seeming to do a great deal, but definitely doing some damage. However, you would notice that
you've done the Cinder Smoke engine one.
Yeah, that's Cinderstorm.
my apologies.
Yeah, I was wondering why our fuel was gunpowder.
The other one was
And our speed is 50 rather than 45. I was like, ooh.
Yay!
sneaky little speed boost.
Oh, I found it. Right, hang on. So hit point. Yeah, more hit points actually.
Yeah.
And it's an AC of 14, Liam.
So sorry, the shot would not have hit.
Mother Hubbard.
There you go. So the bolt flies and hits into the armor, but ricochets off. However, you see the main reason for their positioning here is actually to shield the progress of their partner driver, the Sandstorm, which pulls up next to the slate. No, they probably wouldn't. They would be a bit further back, but will have pulled almost a little bit in front of the Desert Hopper. After which, a Lenny.
Right. Okay. I am going to use a sticky arrow to send a smoke bomb at these guys next to us. Is
Okay.
the cockpit open? Is it?
The cockpit is open.
So I want to aim at the driver to try and cover him in smoke and sort of freak him out a little bit.
Okay, yeah, go for it. So, item interaction to stick it on.
Yeah.
Load
Because
it up.
I would literally have the arrow and I'm just
this is a
dipping it.
non-fire one.
Yeah,
Okay.
the non-fire one. And just a normal longbow.
Yep. Sorry, you're aiming at Desert Hopper rather than Sandstorm. Or
The
Sandstorm.
guy right next to us, so the
Yes,
Desert
okay.
Hopper.
Yeah, so the 13 will just hit.
Okay, and then so
do you are you aiming at him?
yes.
Or yes, okay. So yeah, just roll your damage.
So that's 7 piercing
Plus your D6.
plus my
Fire
D6
damage.
for the for the fire damage. Oh damn! Hang on. Slash RD6. There you are. So there's so it's
nice
12.
fire damage.
Another 5 fire damage. And then
Okay,
yeah,
and
it's got
yeah.
the smoke bomb. Then hopefully should go off as well when
and
it lands.
as it hits into him, there is a and smoke starts to pour out the front of them. It wouldn't expand. It would almost be right next to Ichi because it. I actually think no, at this range it would cover Ichi a little bit because it's a 10-foot radius.
Yeah.
So it will just Ichi as you see it expanding outwards. Obviously, again, imagining you're moving forward, so it's almost beginning already to trail behind you. But there will be a moment, Ichi, where your vision is covered.
Okay.
As we then come
Hang
to,
on, I've got
sorry,
another
go
attack.
on. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
So I've got 2 attacks. So I would like to bonus action. Sorry, hang on. Bonus action ensnaring strike.
Okay.
And so my next arrow is going. Is the sandstorm cockpit open?
No, that is protected.
What about these guys at the bottom?
So the guys at the very very bottom, these ones.
Yeah.
Yes, their cockpit is open, and they are like chariot style, almost like you guys, where the guys in the back are in open, and then it's an open cockpit style, so slightly more protected for the driver.
So I'm aiming for the driver of that one now, and snaring strike on it.
Okay, go for it. Make sure.
It's 12.
Okay, unfortunately, you see them duck down under the cover as your arrow flickers off and doesn't hit, unfortunately. Is it spent on a hit or on a shot?
I'm just looking.
It's on a hit.
I believe so.
It's when I hit the creature, so I think it'll stay up until I actually hit the next person.
Okay. So is that everything from a Lenny?
That is everything from a Lenny now.
So you would see bursting out, almost again covering the smoke a little bit, the Azure Flyer. They pull out and zoom a little bit towards the edge, so almost matching the side of the trident. But you would see that, as Dante previously saw, Tabitha's seat in the back suddenly jettisons up 10 foot. They point a finger, and you see a little orange dot fire out in your direction. Not directly at you.
Fireball.
Just enough.
Oh, wow.
Do we get any resistance to fire?
Actually,
Good job we're already on fire, isn't it?
no, actually, I don't think they're going to target you. You are already on fire, and
More targets in the
these guys are clumped better. So you see the orange bead almost firing behind you as you're speeding forwards, and then the explosion of fire that engulfs the Wayfinder, the Dragon's Breath, and the firebolts.
Not the fireball.
So for
Right, they just made it personal.
They did.
for the firebolts. Okay. Okay. And can Ichi, can you roll me a d100? For the Wayfinder. Okay.
Oh no. Oh, 2.
Ooh.
Eleni, can you roll me a d100?
Only if it's not for the firebolts. 55.
Okay, so there is the massive explosion, and those cars are still leaping forwards in the midst of their beginnings. You see the firebolt engine emerges from the smoke with both the gnomes looking heavily injured. And as they're going forwards, there is a as the front of their engine explodes.
Oh.
You would see the seat in the back jetted like out, and the younger halfling is like fired from the vehicle. The no sign of the other in the fireball as that's going on. As that is going on, the Wayfinder bursts forwards, managing to sustain itself, but only getting up to that distance. And right, or not right at the bottom. So sorry, we've also got, I sort of did that in slightly the wrong order, but the Dragon's Breath, as it begins to sort of putter forward, first of all, it like rides out of the fireball as you would expect of a tank to do, with the flames almost washing off the sides of their armor. For those casters, you would know completely obscuring from fireball does protect from it.
Mm-hmm.
They, however, so they go to there, and you would notice that they're only moving as quick as you. However, they are, because they have a cinder engine, they are able to boost, unlike you.
How often can they do that? Is that every turn?
Yeah, but the more you do it, the more volatile the engine. It's sustained turn by turn use is not good. They actually boost straight forwards and ram into the back of the trident. However, so that you see that they touch, but it's not enough to make any contact. And as they pass, you can hear the loud calls of people inside going, "Load! Aim!" And the cannon on the front starts to twist.
Shit.
Fully turning to a side-on position and aiming this way.
Ooh.
However, there is no fire. You would surmise loading and aiming takes each of the other riders' actions. Jolie, what would you like to do? You're solo at the bottom there, and Ellie forgot you.
Yeah, so I'm just going to reach over and then do a tap on a Dante and a tap on Beecham, Ichi, and cast Enhance ability. I'm doing it as a level 3, so I can do it to 2 creatures.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do we have to have the same one each?
I don't know.
It says
What's the actual wording on the enhancement when it says casting at a higher level?
when you cast a spell using a spell slot that is 3 or higher, you can target 1 additional creature.
I would say
Okay.
that's with the same effect.
That's how it sounds like to me.
That's what it sounds like.
What you're going to pick?
Well, what I will say is,
I would still go dexterity because if
I
do,
was gonna go.
Yeah.
That's Grace.
That's Grace, yeah.
Okay.
And go for dexterity on.
You reach out and touching a hand to each of them, almost green energy cloaks over their bodies, and Dante, you feel almost like that adrenaline pump as you're like hyper tuned into your reactions, and Ichi, you're actually feeling like you're holding on. You're not worrying too much. For both of you to know that is advantage on checks, so not saves and not like attacks. So
and if you fall.
Wait, is it saves as well? Check that. Is it checks and saves and not attacks, or is it?
Target target has advantage on dex checks. It also doesn't take damage from falling 20 feet or less.
Okay, so you're also safe to jump 20 foot down. But as and anything with the bonus, sorry, Bolo.
No bonus.
Okay, and as we end the first turn with already one of the racers out for the count, the poor firebolts burn up in the first standing. You can see already clerics moving. There's gasps and audible cries from the crowd. And we race off into the Zanagaeth Desert. That is where we will end this week's session. Thank you very much for playing. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you want to see if our group can make it through the Doomhakre alive, hit the like and subscribe and the notification bell so you know when the videos are coming out. And as always, roll